Hey everyone, and welcome back to our coverage as we go into the back nine here of the St. Charles County Open at Quail Ridge Park. I am Rebekah Kersey, joined here with Banden.
What's up, everyone?
The wind is starting to pick up and the elevation is going to get a little more extreme on this back nine. It should make for some interesting golf.
Yeah, looking at our leaderboard here, we have Andrew Presnell at 10 under, Paul Oman at 10 under, Brock Rohler at 4 under, and Max Anderson at 1 over.
All right, hole 10 is 330 feet, par 3. It is a tight shot off the tee, navigating through numerous trees. The players are just trying to get over this valley and across to the landing zone here that the drone is showing you right about here. The drone does show you our original placement, and so we're going to be playing back to that PVC pipe recessed in the wood line there just a little bit.
Yep, Presnell's going to start us off. This is a recently relocated tee pad. It's a new shot for this year, so some of the guys that have even played this course, it's definitely new for Presnell since he hasn't been here.
That's true. Yeah, we did have a pad. It was off to the right just a little bit and slightly angled differently, so it's giving these players a different shot up this tunnel. Still a really tricky shot.
Yeah, he let that go with a little, I think, too much hyzer. He was trying to get it to flip up and carry right a little bit. It's a tough angle. A lot of times you'll see players throw a little bit more of an overstable disc and put it on a four-stand hyzer to try to have it work back towards the basket. It just looks like Prez got a little too much on it.
Yeah, and I couldn't tell if he clipped a little something and went down left. I think he should be able to get up and down from there. There could be a few things in the way, but as long as he's somewhat on the other side of the hill, he shouldn't have too much trouble. Brock's up next, and he's going with the forehand option. And he makes it clear to the other side, but he is not within circle. So maybe circle 2, you think?
Yeah, it's going to be tough uphill. The goal, like you said earlier, is mainly get to the other side of the ravine there. You still have a tough shot going uphill, but you can at least run the basket. Paul looks like he got an early kick there. It was kind of hard to see.
Yeah, he hit a tree and kicked down to the left. So this is right when I jumped in with the guys after I finished my round, came off the course and started walking with them. So I was able to watch some of this live, which was really fun.
Yeah, I would have liked to watch it. I was TD in another course, but Max here looks like he's lining up a backhand. It's a pretty good shot. Looks like it might have caught a tree a little late there, and yeah, can't really see where it landed, but Paul, you can see down here at the end of the bottom of the ravines, it's a really tough upshot.
Yeah, it's pretty steep uphill from here. I don't know how easy it is to get to the basket per se. I think at this point he just needs to get up as far as he can.
You can see all the foliage in front of him too. It's not an easy shot.
No, and this has so many rocks in the fairway here, so you can easily catch one of them and roll too. Something to be careful and mindful of for sure. Here's Prez on a knee, reaching out and tossing up a forehand there.
It's a great shot. Nice easy 3.
Max.
Yeah, you can tell Max got something. He caught something in the air.
Yeah.
He's pretty far down the hill.
Yeah, he does look like he might have a tunnel through those trees. And he just lays up to the basket, trying to get out with the 3 as well.
Hole 10 was actually the most difficult hole on the course for the day, playing at 3.81. So.
Wow, yeah, that's almost a entire stroke over par.
Yeah, it's a really tough. There is a gap. There's a clean gap to get through, but if you miss that gap, you're going to be in trouble. Paul, nice little bid there.
Yeah, give him a little go to see if he could maybe save par.
Perez tapping his par in.
And Brock will do the same, as will Max.
So everybody got one there on Paul.
Yeah, that's true. And right here, Paul and Prez are close. So they were tied going into this hole. So I'm sure that Paul will be looking to try to get one back on the next hole.
If you're going to lose one, that's the hole to do it. Okay, here we go. Hole 11, par 3, 349 feet. Fairway goes downhill and drifts constantly to the right. The basket down at the bottom of the hill here with a little bit of a creek behind. As you can see, it's a pretty tight gap off the tee. Pretty much want to throw like an understable putter, maybe an understable mid-range, something like that.
Yep, just let it fade all the way down and matching the slope of the hill.
Prez had it turned over. Can't quite see. We didn't get a catch cam, but the hands up in the air. I'm guessing maybe he hit a tree.
Brock's going to go with a forehand instead. And he kind of just wants to pop one around that tree right in front of him and let it start working its way right down to the bottom of the hill.
It's a tough forehand line. You almost have to throw something a little understable. And yeah, like you said, pop it up and flip it.
And he gets a good ways down, but doesn't quite filter all the way to the bottom. But, I mean, I think he's in a spot where he should be able to get up and down for par.
Max here. Yeah, looking like a putter. Just going to turn it over.
Yeah, and that kind of just drifts down and looks like it's just short and left of the basket.
Yeah, didn't quite get enough over on it.
Yep.
Paul's going to look to do the same.
And the wind at this point is picking up a little bit, so even though they're in the woods, they are still feeling it.
These holes typically are a little guarded by the wind because you're down, in a ravine down at the bottom of the hill. Here in a couple holes, we're going to be getting back out to the open. We'll see if that wind plays more of a factor.
Yeah, that should be fun to watch because it definitely did pick up in the afternoon hours on this day. Perez is looking to toss his up there, but connects with a tree about halfway in between him and the basket. So he's looking like he might not get out of here with par.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough shot. Brock. Ooh, I thought that was in.
I know, right? Looks like he was going to dunk that one.
Yeah, that was a good bid.
Okay, so now we see where Max landed, and it looks like he just tried to pitch one up there, hit the base of the tree, rolled away a little bit, but still inside the circle.
I think he should be okay there. Perez here for par.
Yeah, if he can this, he can save it because Paul had a great shot and down at the bottom, so Paul, could take a birdie and gave it a run.
Just missed.
Yeah, I mean, he could potentially take 2 on Prez here if he was to capitalize on this birdie now.
Yeah, he actually got really lucky with that tree behind it because he could have ended up down in that creek.
So this is Max to save his par after getting that little bit of a roll away.
Oh, a little high. He's got to dial in them putts.
Yeah.
He's having a rough day. Paul looking for a birdie here.
Yeah, that would be nice to get a swing like that when he lost one on the last hole. Oh.
That's mean.
Oh, man.
That's mean. Pro side, maybe a little bit outside,
Yeah,
but
slightly.
Yeah, that's like a 50-50 catch on most baskets.
For sure. But he is still, assuming Prez makes this, right, he's still taking 1 stroke on him and puts him back tied.
Yep. Prez makes good on his bogey. A couple more tap-ins for hole 11 on this day for MPO. There were no birdies on this hole.
Wow. Yeah, it's not an easy one. You have to get so far down there on that turn. And so Max here is funny. Max is actually making sure that he's putting from the right disc because him and Paul had very similar putters.
Yeah, same color.
Yeah, we've seen that happen before out there on the tour, right? So.
I don't know if it's the same mold or not, but...
Hole 12. This is par 3, 273 feet, and it is extremely uphill. You see that Mando on the right there that the drone is flying past, so players are going to need to stay to the left side of that. And then they come into this green, which is extremely sloping and filled with tons of rocks. So even layups can be scary on this one.
Yeah, it's a really difficult green. Like you said, with a lot of rocks, some of these rollaways can go 100 feet down the hill.
Brock's trying his luck with a forehand. And
Did he make the Mando?
you know, okay, actually, I do know the answer to this. I was there that day. This is when I started walking with them, and so they actually deliberated on whether he made it or not.
I heard him say miss.
Yeah, and I think they actually talked about it for like 5 minutes.
Okay.
So essentially what happened was he ended up going to the drop zone.
Okay.
There's a designated drop zone up there.
There is a drop zone about, quarter of the way up the fairway, right about even with the Mando.
Yep.
Paul had a good turnover there, backhand.
Yeah, I didn't get quite all the way up the hill. He got knocked down a little bit, but he has a look to get up and down from there. Prez is going with a big Anheuser turnover, and he just wants it to slide up. Oh, my God. And he does it. He does exactly that.
That is perfect.
Yeah, that was nasty.
Yeah, he had really good height on that.
Yep.
Came in, slow speed on the green, and I was able to just sit right there. It's perfect. Max.
I mean, I'm assuming he's going to try to replicate the same thing.
Yeah, just do that.
Yeah. Easy enough.
Looks like he's got good height on it.
Yeah, similar looking line. It comes in just a little bit shorter, but still a good shot.
Yeah, it's still a daunting putt. Anything that hits a face mask or headband on this has a possibility of rolling away.
Yeah.
So Brock here from the drop zone.
Yep, this is just over on the left side of the fairway past the red pad.
That's a good shot.
Yep.
Stayed up there. Paul for a long look.
Yep, just looking to toss one up there. But there you go.
Sit.
Catches a rock a little bit and gets the roll away, just like we were talking about. Now, he doesn't go all the way down, but he is going to have to putt behind some branches and those bushes there.
Saw Max take some notes there. Just put it up there nice and easy. Brock, good recovery.
Yep. Stop the bleeding. Walks away with a bogey.
As you can see, just that little bit of foliage there. There's kind of a little tunnel through there. Paul kind of has to do a straddle putt out to the side.
Yeah, lucky for him, he has super long legs.
Yeah, he's a giant.
So he can really take advantage of that straddle and get some leverage on those legs and hopefully get this one up and in. And he does.
Good three. Prez with a tap in too. Man, that's nice. Hole 13, par 4, 341 feet. So we had a Mando that we just flew by on the drone. You want to stay to the right of that Mando and have something overstable finish out into the fairway here. There is a small tunnel to the right if you really want to try to push forward to get to the basket. Very, very difficult because there is a extremely steep hill to the right side. So if you catch a tree and go to the right, you're pretty much guaranteed. You might get a par coming back, but...
Yeah, Tyler Fink unfortunately dealt with that at the Midwest Showdown. We had some coverage of that also, brought to you by Skyhouser. Go check it out if you haven't seen it. And poor guy, it was hard to watch. So Prez puts one up through the gap and gets back out into the clearing, which is ideal.
Yeah, it's really what you're looking for. As long as you get out there, you can just kind of pitch up and take a birdie if you get close enough.
Yeah. Here we have Paul. And he hyzers one up into the open too, I think a little bit earlier maybe than Presnell's, but he's out there and he's looking at the basket. Should have no problem getting an easy birdie on this one. It is marked as a par 4, but if you get out on your drive, getting up and down for a birdie is pretty routine. Yeah,
it's a soft par 4 in most cases. The reason it's a 4 is because of the Mando and the giant hill to the right.
For sure.
This is a very attackable hole. This is a hole that competitors are going to want to get the birdie. Brock looks like he's going for the skinny tunnel.
Oh, wow.
He pushed up there. He stayed on top of the hill, which is good. I can't really see the line to the basket.
That was gutsy.
But, yeah, I'm feeling if he's sitting 2 over for the round, he's trying to make up some ground right now.
Yeah. So we think it's like 150 out from here, maybe?
Yeah. Just a nice little putter up shot. Not too challenging of a green. Just want to put it close. Max. Maybe give it an extra second for the win. Now you can see they're getting up into the open again. You see those leaves.
Yep.
Really pushing.
Yeah, they're going to be more exposed on the remaining holes. So it will be a test of angle control.
It's a good up by Max. Perez looking to do the same thing here. You get it close, like I said, you can walk away with a tap-in birdie. Good up, yep, right next to the basket.
Okay, so this is where Brock ended up. Yeah, he should have no issues pitching one out there, I would think.
Yeah.
Not
Just
a
put it
problem.
through the little tunnel. Little window there.
So they all have a look at birdie, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the advantage of going with the tunnel side is you can see actually off the tee pad there's a straight line at the basket. You can almost see the basket sitting in a window of trees. But if you miss it, it's that risk-reward type shot.
Yeah. I mean, it's just nervy, even just knowing that hill is over there.
It's
drops
massive.
So far. And so it looks like after Prez puts this one in the basket, we have a star frame. Very nice.
Nice work, guys.
We will move on over to hole 14. 401 feet, par 3, downhill to the right. These players are likely going to throw a big anhyzer or a forehand. You need to get past the break in the trees and turn down to the right, and the basket is sitting in this circle of pavers and is slightly elevated. So let's see which route each of our players take in this wind.
So there is also a possibility of a big hyzer backhand
Oh, man.
to the right side, but again, you mentioned that wind. If you get it, you got to get it high. And if you get it a little too nose up, you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, and I think to do that route, the wind has to be blowing the right way on any given day, right? And I'm not sure if today was that day or not by any means, but you're right. I've seen that once in a blue moon.
Yeah, Presnell had a nice shot there, ended up in the fairway. Couldn't tell if he caught a tree late, but he is just sitting right there. Should be an easy pitch up for a par. Maybe be able to run it. That elevated basket makes it a little tricky.
Yep. Here's Paul, and he goes with the backhand, but it kind of turns over a little too early and goes into that tree, a set of trees on the right side, and just plinkos its way down. There's some openings up, you can get it out of there. There's some openings through there, but you also could land in a really unfortunate spot as well and kind of be trapped, and makes it harder to save par.
Yeah, gonna have to scramble from there. Max, looks like he kind of went the same route, a little bit inside. Couldn't quite tell where it ended up. Brock, I think, yeah, he's gonna line up a forehand. And it does play pretty well for the forehand if you have the power.
Yeah, for sure. And he definitely has the power.
Yeah.
So he slings it out there, and if I remember, because it's kind of hard to see from this footage, but it just stays a little left into that set of trees on the left side. So.
Yeah, it's pretty naturally guarded on both sides of the green.
Yeah.
If you miss either way, you're going to be looking at a shot kind of like this, a scramble shot to get up to the green.
Yeah, and it looks like Paul has an opening from here, right? So it can be doable, but essentially just hitting that break in the trees clean. It's just so hard to do in the wind, though, from those the blue pads.
And this green is kind of a hard pan green if it's dry. It's slick. It was a little wet out yesterday. It's looking a little more dry today, I think, with the wind and a little more sunshine. So, yeah, if you blow past the basket, it's going to slide. Brock, you can see upset there.
Yeah. Just hit one of the trees right in front of him on that forehand, and the slap of the leg knowing that he was letting one go there.
So Max pushed pretty well down there.
Oh, wow. Yeah, this is where he finished. Okay.
He's got some trees to contend with. Again, should just be able to pitch up. Take a fairly easy 3 from here. Yeah, it's a good shot.
Yep, and this is where Presnell landed. So I would have to assume that he's just going to kind of give it a half seat with the way that the wind is blowing.
Yeah, try to Yeah, throw it up high, let it stall out.
Yeah.
Keep
yeah.
it close if he misses.
Yeah, as opposed to like running a laser at it,
Yeah, you definitely don't want to blow by it and skip off the back of these pavers because then it goes downhill.
Yep.
Brock tapping in, unfortunate bogey there. Gonna have to recollect his thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And there are some other players behind these guys on the chase card that, they kind of are probably keeping an eye out for, both Brock and Max. I know they'd like to probably be on the lead card for the final round. So, ooh, good. Nice putt by Paul.
Yeah, good recovery for a par. But yeah, you're correct. Yeah, those chase card guys are probably looking at these scores thinking, man, I might be able to get up there.
Yeah, especially in the wind. They might see an opportunity that if these guys aren't completely dialed in, they could take advantage and slide into that final day coverage spot.
Lead card.
Heck yeah. Who doesn't want to be
on coverage?
like lead card, final round coverage of an 8-tier? Yes, please.
Okay. I don't know that feeling yet.
I don't either. Someday.
Hole 15, par 3, 317 feet. You have to get pretty high, clear the gap with a turnover, and have it be a little bit stable and come back to the left. It's pretty well an S flight. You can see where Andrew's looking here. It's up top, and you have to throw something high, almost on a forced anhyzer.
Yeah. So you remember how you said earlier that Presnell was playing this course blind?
Yes.
He asked them, how he should throw this shot. And
where do I go?
Yeah, he's like, so, give me a tip. I've never played this hole. And this is a hard shot blind because it is such a crazy angle. And you're not just going to run up and look at this basket necessarily because it's so far out there. So it was kind of funny. He just trusted him and put it out there and got himself in a good spot. And I was like, all right, that's how you do it.
Yeah, he looked pretty close. Definitely behind some trees, but... yeah, this is a battle of nose angle with this wind.
Yeah, Paul did not like that one. You could tell by his reaction. And again, we don't really have a couch cam on this one, so we'll just have to see where they all end up. But there's some junk to the left side that you definitely don't want to be in. And I think he might have found it.
Yeah, the safer landing zone is definitely to the right. As you can see here, there's a lot of open fairway.
Yeah, that was great by Max. I mean, Max really pushed over on that disc to the right and then let it turn out of it himself at the end of his shot so that it would be in that landing zone on that right part of the fairway.
Brock's lining up beforehand. I think he's going more for that safer play. Get out through the gap to the right side to where you have a pretty, nice, easy pitch up for a 3.
Yeah, he's not trying to mess with it. I think that was his halo. It beefed up, and he's outright. Here we can see Paul did not get out, so now he has to navigate through this. And again, him and Presnell are really close, right? So he's just trying to stay with him at this point. Doesn't want to let too many go.
You want to keep pace. He did have a little window there. I didn't see that, but still a very tough up and down, and that's a great shot.
I was standing right behind him when he threw that, and I was amazed. It was such a tough little hole that he had to get through, and he just really gave himself an opportunity there. I was impressed.
Well, looks like he hung it out maybe a little wide.
Yeah, inside circle, but I think from there he would probably think he could just put it on the pin, and he would prefer that,
Yeah, pretty smart of these guys to be using some overstable discs in this wind. I know I would be.
Yep. As we saw the use of the zone and whatnot. So the Presnell's in there. You don't know it at this point, but he's in there. Okay, here we go. We do have a camera angle on that one, and so.
So was there a shot taken there? Is this now his third shot, or is this his second shot?
I believe that was his drive. Actually, no. He might have taken one already. That's what it was. Okay. I knew that he got a par on this one.
What a putt.
So, yeah, he actually hit something on his second shot and didn't go very far. It went maybe 15 feet, and that was where he landed. And he made that to save par. So if you're Paul thinking about that right now, you're thinking that you might be able to get one back on Prez right here, right? And then he cans it from an E in the bushes.
Yeah.
And so now the pressure is back on Paul to make his tester.
Kind of a tester putt.
In the wind.
Yeah.
For par, just so that now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big shot from Presnell.
Exactly.
Brock, great putt. Take your 3. Smart play all the way through. Now Paul, like you said, it's got some pressure.
It's amazing how quickly the tables can turn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he's definitely sitting there thinking, oh, I got one.
Yeah.
After that second shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why you can never count anybody else out, and you can't count yourself out. You never know when you might do something really cool.
Paul's a really good inside the circle putter. Oh, man.
Yeah, right? And then that happens. So now he loses another round of press.
You go from thinking you're going to get one.
It hurts.
And then, you end up dropping a stroke. That's unfortunate.
Max puts in his par. And,
you can see there's a bit of a...
yeah, he's going to go clean that one up. And, like I would be, not too happy about it. But Paul has great attitude. So, he's just trying to focus on the next shot. And speaking of that next shot, that takes us to hole 16. There's a par 4, 603 feet. This is the longest hole of the day. They just want to get to the other side of the hill and then get pretty much as far up as they can on their drive to shorten up their second shots. So, again, though, with the wind.
It makes it tough.
Yeah.
Big forehand work here, kind of a turnover backhand as you're going to see Presnell throw. And that looks great. Push up the hill as much as you can. I think he caught a little bit of that tree, maybe.
Yeah, he's in a really good spot. Almost just like pin high.
You're aiming pretty much at the camera guy up there. You're aiming at the camera guy up there.
Oh yeah, you can see our cameraman out there. Was that Esteban?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and if you can get to him or anywhere near him, that's great. And that's
perfect. You want to watch out for those low trees on the left there. Mm-hmm. If they knock you down, it's a casual creek, but that makes that second shot uphill almost impossible.
Yeah. And that's definitely why they want to try to get as far up the hill on the drive as they can, because that second shot is pretty grueling if you have to go uphill the whole way.
Brock fades out left there. Still in a bit of the short foliage. With that forehand power, he may be able to get up and down for a birdie.
Yeah, he'll have to assess his lie and see if he has anything that he can just make work from there. I don't think he's in too far, though, if I remember correctly.
Paul got a good wind read here. Looks like he turned it over a little bit.
Oh, he snuck through.
Good finish.
Yep. Should be just fine. How far do you think it is from here?
Probably 250 feet.
Okay.
But it's very far uphill.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Even your stance is uphill. Everything's kind of off about the throw.
Yep.
As you can see, Paul went with a standstill. There was no run up. So if that tells you how steep the hill is.
He also can really use those long legs though to generate some power. Long legs and long arms.
Yeah. Camera doesn't really do it justice how high this pin is up on that hill.
Yeah. So here's Brock, not too far in, and he's just gonna try to turn over a forehand and let it flex out and toss that up there and get as close to the basket as he can. And he just, due to the wind angle, and the angle of his disc, it just kind of stayed left.
That's a tough read.
Sure. But it's par 4, right? So, again, he should be able to get up and down, assuming that he plays the hole correctly the rest of the way.
Max, looks like he let this go way too early.
Yeah, and he's just at the base of that tree. I'm not sure if it'll be in his way or not. This is one of those holes, though, that because it's sitting up higher on this hillside and it's pretty exposed, I'm really trying to think about what side of the basket I want to leave myself on for my putt.
Definitely.
And the closer you are on your second, like your shot, right, you can manipulate that a little more. Press is butter, man. Oh, my gosh.
That's sickening. That's such a good shot. Brock is going to have to take the outside kind of flick route. Good up.
Max is more behind this tree than I realized, and he has to straddle out to get underneath the branches.
Yeah, it's a little low ceiling. He's going to have to put a lot of spin on it, which can be dangerous in the wind. If it's a headwind, it might pick it up.
Okay, so it kind of got knocked down by the wind there and next to the basket. He should be in for an easy par.
Yeah, Paul being a little closer here, I think he doesn't have much to contend with.
Other than the wind, yeah, he has a straight look at it.
At the top of the hill, this wind is really ripping. That's a good putt for a birdie.
Ah, there you go. So he is not necessarily going to get one back on press here unless something crazy was to happen, but he's able to at least keep pace.
Keep pace. Maybe get one on the chase card.
Yeah.
Prez taps in for a nice easy birdie. On we go, hole 17, par 3, 375 feet. We have a Mando right here to the right side to prevent you to going into 18's fairway and tee pad. You want to get down this tunnel as far as you can and then drift to the right. You're probably going to see some forehands from Brock. The other guys are likely playing a long turnover shot with a late flip that Prez is so good at doing. You can see it's a pretty narrow tunnel.
It is narrow, and not only is it narrow, but you have some stuff coming up from the little ditch down there, so you have to throw above some things as well. So you have to watch your left to right, but also you can't keep it too low necessarily either.
He pured that. Got through the initial gap. Looks like he pushed a little deep, maybe, the left side.
Yeah, kind of turned out of it at the end and just went a little long and left of the basket.
Paul kind of has a disadvantage here being so tall with that low ceiling right off the tee.
Yeah, that initial low ceiling. But
Doesn't look like though.
it didn't look like it affected him too much other than the fact that he parked the C position, which is so hard to do from the blue pad. So congrats.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard to do even from the red pad.
It's still something cool to say you did. And look at this wind. I mean, it's kind of pushing those branches even lower and just moving them around right in their face, you know, as if the tee shot wasn't scary enough.
Yeah, you decrease the height on that ceiling. It really kind of gets in your head. Looks like he's got this one on a pretty good line. It's got to hold on. Looks like it stables out. Got a good tree kick though.
Yeah.
You'd have been down by Paul.
The wind is just kind of just letting the disc carry a little further than maybe was intended. So we're seeing some longer shots here, but Max will have an uphill putt at the basket, and Brock is gonna show us that forehand line.
It's definitely gettable with the forehand if you get it on the right line. You just don't want it to finish too early to the right. That's a good shot.
Yeah, he stayed out of the tree line there, as we see right here, and just gonna toss one up, maybe a half-C.
Yeah, he was blocked by that little pine.
This is Presnell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prez trying to scramble his way out.
Ooh, catches the edge right there of that tree line and drops straight down.
Gonna make for a really tough par putt. Paul, I'm sure, looking right now to thinking he can gain a stroke back.
Yeah, it has to be in his mind to some degree.
Unless he makes it.
Oh, so back to pressure. Okay.
What
Paul
a putt.
cans that for a birdie, and now Presnell sitting at the edge of the tree line looking at a putt to save par.
Yeah, if he misses this, we're looking at a tie going into 18.
Yeah, so we will see how this plays out here in just a second.
Never count him out on the green, though.
Yeah, I know. He's nice. Yep, see? I mean,
It's fun to watch.
it is. He's such a solid player. I'm excited to see what he does in 2022.
Especially being your team member.
Yeah.
Max, bit of an uphill putt here. You don't want to miss low. You could have potential roll right back at your feet, maybe even further down the hill. Taking his time with that wind.
Just a tad low.
Brock double checking the putter.
Yeah, right.
They all have those blue putters. Like Paul had the same color, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like Brock and Paul
Yeah.
and Max?
I don't know if all three of them are the same. That would be crazy.
Okay.
They might be, though. I mean, they're just very similar blue. Hole 18, par 3, 456 feet. The basket sits out here in the open. There's some elevation change here as we're going downhill. There's a bunch of things that you want to avoid. The tree line, the tall grass. I mean, none of it's OB, but you just don't want to be in it. These players are looking to throw a mash and get in as close to the basket as they can.
The green does slope pretty hard right to left and downhill behind the basket.
Yep.
But this, I mean, for a lot of MPO players, 450 feet downhill, this is gettable.
It is gettable. We will just see if it's gettable today in this wind.
This is kind of the standard. Throw that hyzer out there and let it trickle on down the hill. He got caught up in some of those trees, so it held him up top.
Yeah, he got up by the position that is over more to the right, and he will just be looking to pitch up from there, I'm going to guess. I don't know, though. It depends if he feels like getting aggressive.
Andrew looked like he took the more inside approach at it. Didn't quite get it. Maybe a little bit of an early release. He finished down to the left. Again, another pitch up. I don't think he's going to have any issue taking a par. You can see the shirt. The wind blowing in the shirt. This is a nervy shot.
Yeah, and you have to have the distance. If you don't quite have it, then you can end up early in that tree line. Max looks like he ends up down by where Presnell is.
I think so. I think it looked like he caught a tree. If he didn't, he might have pushed further down in there, but I didn't see it skip through. Brock lining up the backhand. I'm kind of surprised to see him not go with the forehand.
Yeah, at first I thought I was going to see him kind of flex one over there, and I'm wondering if just the way the wind was blowing made him choose this shot instead. And also kind of higher than I'm guessing he wanted, and he's down by where the rest of the guys are. But in all reality, they still have a look at the basket from where they are. They can see it.
They can see it. Yeah, those low-lying limbs right there in front make it kind of tricky.
Yeah, they just need to hit this gap, play the hillside, and nestle one up next to the basket. No problem for Prez.
Brock looked like he just got into the tree line. Should be a pretty easy flick up there. Left it a little short. Might be a tough putt from that distance.
Yep. Max is just a little in front of where Presnell was, so he doesn't quite have to hit that gap with those low branches, but just tosses one up underneath the basket so he can get up and out. And Paul is looking down at the basket on the right side of the fairway, and he leaves himself a little short.
Yeah, elected for the layup there. And
yeah, so he has a tester just to keep pace on this final hole here.
Which is not an easy putt. It's downhill still.
Exactly, and I mean, downhill and in the wind, they're makeable, but it's it's the last hole, and you don't want to have to put that pressure on yourself if you don't have to. Obviously, nobody does.
Brock tapped in his par.
Yeah, Paul's he's straddling, gets him a little lower to the basket, not as extreme downhill, and he cans it right in the heart.
You can almost see a sigh of relief there.
Yeah.
You're already down one to Presnell. You don't want to lose another one on the last hole.
Yep.
Max taps in. We're going to have a star par here.
That was fun.
Yeah. It was a good round. Pretty solid. A couple under pars there. That does it for our round 2 coverage. Taking a look at our current leaderboard, we have Andrew Presnell at 12 down, Paul Oman at 11 down, Brock Rohler at 3 down, and Derek Green making the comeback. He's going to be on our lead card tomorrow.
Very cool. Well, thank you all for joining us once more for our coverage of the St. Charles Open, the final stop of the 2021 Smokin Aces Tour. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe before heading over to our final round coverage at New Melly Lakes.
See you tomorrow.